We grow up thinking of farms as wholesome, fields of wheat, red barns, and cows grazing in the sun. But the reality is completely different. This is what our industrial farms look like these days.
Welcome to agricultural exceptionalism, where factory farms operate in a legal bubble shielded from the rules that the rest of us live by. The concentrated animal feeding operations, or CAFOs, are the mega factories of modern farming. Each year, CAFOs in the US generate more than 500 million tons of manure. Most of it is untreated. When this waste is sprayed on nearby fields, it can leak into water sources used to irrigate crops like lettuce and spinach. And here's where it gets scary. Multiple E. coli outbreaks have been observed in recent years, some of which were also fatal. Now, all these outbreaks were traced back to the CAFOs located upstream from leafy green fields in California and Arizona.
Public health officials are investigating an E. coli outbreak.
On the ongoing E. coli outbreak that is
linked to romaine lettuce has left dozens seriously ill in 16 states.
Now 3 provinces, 3 in Ontario, 15 in Quebec.
An urgent warning to consumers. If you don't know where your romaine lettuce is from, don't eat it.
So, how is all this regulated? You'd expect the government to have strict rules, but in most states, CAFOs are not required to test their waste runoff for E. coli, and neither are the neighboring farms that use contaminated irrigation water. The 2011 Food Safety Modernization Act was supposed to fix this, but it left one massive gap. It regulates only produce farms, but not the CAFOs that contaminate them. The farm growing lettuce has clean fields, but the cow operation 500 yards away has no regulation at all. If you think that's alarming, wait until you see how the government handles GMOs and controversial chemicals like Roundup. Now, unlike Europe's cautious approach, America's GMO policy relies on a 1986 patchwork that splits oversight between the FDA, USDA, and EPA. Each agency only looks at a part of the picture. No one assesses the full health or environmental impact. This outdated system was never designed for the modern biotechnology. Glyphosate, better known as Roundup, remains legal despite thousands of lawsuits linking it to cancer. It's still widely used because it's profitable and regulatory agencies have been slow to act under industry pressure. Meanwhile, international bodies like the Codex Alimentarius, backed by the World Health Organization and the UN, promote a more cautious approach. They call for clear labeling and rigorous risk assessments of GMOs. Many countries, especially in the European Union, require GMO labels so consumers can make an informed choice. But the US resists these standards, arguing they hurt trade and threaten agricultural exports. In other words, protecting profits has taken priority over transparency and public health. With weak regulations and industry influence keeping these systems largely unchecked, it can feel like there is no way to fight back. But here's the beginning to the change. New technologies are turning the tide. Researchers are now using satellite imagery and AI to detect illegal CAFO expansions, unpermitted waste pits, and manure dumping in real time. These tools offer a level of transparency that traditional regulators could never do. And because many of them are open source, it's not just scientists. Everyday citizens like you and me can now help expose violations and demand accountability. Now, after looking at all these problems, the next question here is what can we do? Now, California has started to break the bubble. Requiring permits for dairy discharge is the first step towards it. Lawsuits are chipping away the glyphosate projections, and regenerative farmers are proving that clean food and clean air can go hand in hand. But we need more. Now, as industry professionals, we can push for regenerative certifications, use AI monitoring tools, audit farm waste management, support legislative pressure to reclarify the ag runoff. And for the regular people, you can choose products from verified sustainable farms, reduce meat from the CFO sources, and demand transparency in your grocery aisle. Agriculture may feed the world, but it shouldn't poison the planet in the process. For too long, we've accepted a system that prioritizes yield over health and profit over accountability. But change isn't just on the horizon, it's already taking root. With satellites in the sky, lawsuits in motion, and people speaking out, the silence is breaking. Regulators are being challenged, loopholes are being exposed, and the new generation is demanding transparency. Whether you're a student, a scientist, a policymaker, or just someone who cares about what's on your plate, you have a role to play. Because the future of food isn't just about feeding the world, right? It's about feeding it wisely, responsibly, and justly. And that's how the future starts now.
Hi, so before ending the video, I just want to say that I had great fun making this documentary. I got to learn just how deep the legal loopholes go and what all goes behind the food I create every day. But I also discovered that with right awareness and tools, change is definitely possible and it has already begun. So thank you for watching.